Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protecting him all along, who put him in position to be such a horror to the Black community, still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it.
Diddy is not playing around with all the people that denounced him when he got busted, because word on the street is he has major T on Beyonce and Jay Z, and he isn't holding back from exposing them. When Diddy got arrested, Jay Z was so quick to separate himself from him, even though we knew those two have been rolling in the dirt together for years. Diddy was getting invited to the Roc Nation brunch every year. He was going on trips with them, but as soon as he got incriminated, all that stopped. Can y'all believe Jay and Bey ain't had a Roc Nation brunch since then? Child, Diddy's arrest had them shook and panicking. To make matters even worse, they got exposed for allegedly having freak-offs with Diddy, and according to the lawyer of one of Diddy's SA victims, there was a freak-off tape of Diddy and Beyonce that was being auctioned around. And apparently that's the infamous freak-off tape that TMZ bought, but still haven't released to the public because it would be illegal to post a non-consenting explicit video of that kind on the internet. But it isn't just the freak-offs that have people talking. It has been rumored for a while now that Jay Z messed with the autopsy of his dead pregnant mistress, Cathy White, after Beyonce unalived her for having an affair with Jay. Jaguar Wright revived these allegations a while back when she got on Piers Morgan and accused them of being a nasty couple with skeletons in their closet. The allegations Jaguar made against them caused so much damage that Jay and Bey to sue Pierce if he didn't take the interview down. Jaguar claimed that Jay Z was the mastermind behind the takedown of R. Kelly, and he was also the one who funded the prosecutors to go after Diddy so he can take the attention from himself. She also said she had 3 of Beyonce and Jay Z's victims in her possession, and that they are more than willing to tell us what Jay and Bey did to them.
He's just the beginning. Until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally, the victims, they're not safe. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to bid for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous, and everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job. He's the Judas.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protecting him all along, who put him in position to be such a horror to the Black community, still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it.
Now, as I said, when Jaguar made these allegations, the first thought in a lot of people's minds was Jay's dead mistress, Cathy White, and how he and Beyonce allegedly ganged up to unalive her. People couldn't help but bring up Bey's new song Daughter from her recent album, Cowboy Carter, in which she details possibly unaliving someone after she caught them sleeping with her lover. The lyrics read, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors, your blood stains on my custom coutures, bathroom attendant let me right in, she was a big fan. I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue, look what you made me do." Now this may just be a dark song Beyonce and her writers came up with, but people are convinced that this was a confession, and thus will make a lot more sense when you find out the strange circumstances under which Cathy died. The pathologist concluded that she died from a brain aneurysm, but Jaguar Wright had something else to say. Jaguar first spoke on this during an IG Live, claiming that the autopsy results about Cathy dying from a brain aneurysm was a lie that Beyonce and Jay came up with after they took her out.
Cathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand's sake.
As if these allegations were not wild enough, Jaguar later appeared in another interview, and this time, she didn't only accuse Beyonce of being responsible for Cathy's death, she also said Beyonce allegedly faked her pregnancy and that Blue Ivy is possibly the kid Cathy was carrying when she was allegedly unalive.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jag, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Cathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you. And the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk my out, because ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy. You should have done a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Cathy. Because you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
People also came across this investigative article by Hollywood Street King, in which he took it upon himself to investigate the real cause of Cathy's death, made back in the day, and he spilled some major tea. Hollywood Street King was actually the one who first broke the story about Cathy and Jay's affair, so he knew the real, and he suspected there was foul play the minute she was announced dead. The article read, "Yesterday I got the news that Cathy Michelle White had suddenly passed away, so I quickly began my investigation, and guess what? Cathy did not die from a brain aneurysm as reported widely around the internet today. According to an NYPD detective who told me, Cathy's cause of death is uncertain, and later today, we will have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious." Cathy White died exactly 1 year to the day from when I broke the story of her and Jay Z's affair. He added, "A 911 call came in from an apartment on 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan. Ambulance came and took Cathy because she was sick. They took her to the Beth Israel Hospital, and that's where she expired. It was too early early to be speculating that an aneurysm her. They will be doing an autopsy later today to check out her cause of death. But someone might have given Cathy a bad so they'll do a toxicology, and we'll have to wait 2 weeks for that report. 2 weeks prior to her death, Cathy was contacted by a major tabloid that was investigating the Jay Z connection. She gave them little information to go on, but according to one of our sources, following her conversation with the tabloid, she called Jay and told him that she was going to go public with their affair for a price. This all happened in the last 2 weeks. Then, little more than 48 hours after the announcement that Beyonce was pregnant with Jay's baby, this young lady suddenly dies under suspicious circumstances. He also added these photos of Claudia Jordan and Cathy cutting it up with Jay in the club just months before her death. Apparently, Cathy was best friends with Claudia, and it was actually Claudia who introduced Cathy to Jay. Woo child, the receipts are receding, and of course, who cannot forget about how DaBaby recently exposed Jay and Beyonce for having a secret meeting in Diddy's house, along with other powerful people in the industry.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay Z and Beyonce being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Right. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Now, as I said, there's word going around that Diddy will be working on a documentary when he gets out, and he'll be going into details about everyone who helped him carry out his criminal activities. And that allegedly includes Jay Z and Beyonce. None of this is confirmed yet, but baby, folks are convinced that Diddy is going to sing once he is out of there. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, y'all keep forgetting the reason Diddy had them walk across the bridge to get that cheesecake in making the band was for Beyonce LMAO. She was upstairs the whole time. Trust me, she'd be around. Another person said, I remember buying a magazine with Cathy White's face on the cover years ago. The article talked about her and Jay Z having a long-term relationship. She had been dealing with Jay Z way before he got with Beyonce. The article also stated that Beyonce had called Cathy White days before her death and her. Then all of a sudden she mysteriously dies. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Jay Z and Beyonce allegedly unaliving Cathy White? And do y'all really think they were involved with Diddy too? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.